Hi, I'm Bratati Ghosh, and hello, CMU students from Turn the Bus. Turn the Bus is a nonprofit organization, and our mission is to reduce income inequality sustainably by reducing educational inequality with the help of smartphones. A short intro to our team. We have Dr. Tilak Agerwala, who has a PhD from Johns Hopkins in electrical engineering, computer science, and has worked for over 30 years in progressively senior leadership roles at IBM. We also have Rahul Deshpande, who has worked for over 27 years at Microsoft, including in their cloud services division. And me, Bratati Ghosh, I have been in the e-commerce category for the last 25 plus years and just love the potential of the internet to transform lives around the world. As I said, we are an EdTech nonprofit. We have an exclusively digital and AI-heavy approach because we believe that that's the only real way to solve the problem of educational inequality and therefore of income inequality at scale. Last year, we had 20,000 students. This year, we're enrolling 38,000 students at the high school level. Why high school? Because high school students tend to be the early adopters of digital technology. They have smartphones now. And we are so delighted, particularly now, about the potential of XR plugins and libraries to actually bring a lot more immersive STEM education to our target populations. We also have a memorandum of understanding with the World Bank funded Jivika organization, which gives us access to 10 million women and their families in the state of Bihar in India. And what is the problem we would like for you to tackle for us? One is, if we bring XR-enabled immersive STEM education to rural Bihar, this then translates into better training opportunities for STEM careers. And as we all know, this leads to much better lifelong earning potential because of better livelihood options in STEM. And of course, one need not even talk about why this problem is important to solve. Even basic STEM education is not really available to our students. So getting the highest quality education would help them end the self-perpetuating cycle of intergenerational poverty. And we cannot do it without the internet. So first of all, we don't have good STEM teachers in rural India. This we are bridging with video lectures. Secondly, we don't have labs in rural India, so that we are bridging with the help of XR, hopefully. Without that, how will we have student engagement? Dr. Agerwal.
Thank you, Bratati. So Bratati has very nicely described sort of the overall problem that we are trying to solve. I want to emphasize that things are changing very rapidly, and there are many different scenarios that we could talk about and be interested in. But broadly speaking, there are two scenarios. There's an in-home scenario where the students are using mobile devices with limited AR, VR capability and are getting access to virtual labs. We think that's 90% of the use cases. The second important use case is that of a learning center or an innovation center where students come together with all the virtual reality equipment, and we can use these virtual learning labs to both provide more advanced lab experiences, but also very importantly, provide training experiences to increase people's livelihood options. Next slide, please. I've said most of this before, so let's just move on. Can you press the once? Yes, thank you. So a review, this is what we really are hoping to accomplish. Given the rate and pace of technology change, and given the rate and pace at which the environment is changing. The environment in, for example, Bihar, India. It's important for us to start with a review of the state of the art of STEM education delivered through these mechanisms that we've been talking about. Now, after that state of the art, we will jointly between CMU and Turn the Bus, we'll make a decision, a joint decision on a solution. And at that point, we'd like to see the development of an extensible end-to-end systems architecture, including the front-end mobile phones, the network, the back-end cloud services. And very importantly, ultimately the deliverable is a proof of concept, which is to show, to demonstrate for the first scenario, that is the at-home scenario, to demonstrate virtual physics labs. Next slide, please. And just to give you a better understanding of what those physics labs look like, there are dozens of different labs that are required. But here are two examples. First one is to find the refractive index of a liquid using a convex lens and plane mirror. That's an optics example. And the other one is to compare the electromagnetic force of two given primary cells with the help of a potentiometer. So normally the students would go into a lab and do this. What we want to do is to deliver the equivalent educational experience on what we just talked about, right? On the students at home with a mobile phone and perhaps some limited ER, VR capability. On to you, Rahul.
Thank you, Dr. Agerwala. And hello, everybody. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the potential impact for this project, which we believe is a huge opportunity to make an impact. You'll be working in two areas. The first one is really develop the entire product roadmap, looking at what is possible today with the latest mobile and AR/VR technologies, and really define a bunch of really rich feature sets, if you will, that will really work well for our target audience, which is the students in rural India. Secondly, you will also work to create the entire end-to-end architecture for this solution. The goal is to really, start working on it and put this into production so that we can ultimately deliver low-cost STEM education to millions of underprivileged students. In a way, what we are trying to do here is really democratize learning. One of the challenges, which I believe Bratati mentioned earlier, is the students don't really have access to the best teachers and best educational content. And we want to change that. We want to make it possible for the best content worldwide to be available to these students so that they can move on to better careers on the STEM track. As a nice side effect, we believe that being part of this project will also help you understand the latest AR/VR technologies, the latest cloud technologies, and hopefully use those skills that you acquire as part of this project during the course of your careers. Next slide, please. So really, if you were to summarize the impact, it's really the social impact that you're going to have by contributing to Turn the Bus's mission and reduce income inequality by reducing education inequality. The second is really to participate in digital transformation for societal good. Next slide, please. So you can go through this slide in more detail. I'm just going to drive the main points here. Like at least one team member to have, and the other are really nice to have skills. But really, what we're really looking for is folks who are super passionate about making a social difference, who are willing to learn, who are willing to challenge themselves, and in the part of the journey, help us in our vision. Thank you.